What up? Hi. Um, I want to talk about the process of stillness because the word that a lot of people think about is the word meditation. And that word is so loaded that we get lost in the process instead of what a lot of people think it is. So, this video, I'm hoping to shed light on the stillness process. Now, I when I tell you the process of how I do it, I do not want you to follow the method, okay? Because stillness is not bigger than you. I want you to always remember that you are bigger than anything in this life. In fact, you are bigger than life itself. I want you to just realize that. So, a good analogy will be think of a goldfish and think of a goldfish aquarium, the bowl, right? So let's pretend this and a goldfish. Now, which one was created for? Was the goldfish created for the aquarium, for the goldfish bowl, or was the goldfish bowl created for the goldfish? Well, of course, the aquarium, the goldfish bowl, was created for the goldfish. Well, likewise, human beings, individuals, are likened to the goldfish. The aquarium, or the what people call meditation, this thing called stillness, circumstances, those things do not take precedence or priority to us. We were created, okay, and then meditation through thousands of years was created to help people deal with what they need to deal with. So do not make this, even the stillness, even though it's not meditation, do not make this bigger than yourself because you are bigger than the process. Okay? Don't get lost in the process of you thinking that you need to follow some kind of instruction step by step, point by point, which I'm giving permission just to be free. Okay? So here's really the process. Okay? So you find a place, an atmosphere where it's silence and there's stillness. So you could drop into that place. And what I usually do is I'll get comfortable, okay? And I'll just close my eyes, relax, chill. And I want you to dive deep because what this is, it's not meditation per se. It's not meditation. What this is all about, really and truly, is getting this to dive down here. Okay, is getting this to dive down here. And usually it takes people some sessions of stillness to get into that heart living, your core. So whatever thoughts show up, okay, whatever things show up, I want you just to accept it, to allow it to show up. Don't resist it because it's the resistance to those thoughts that's what's getting you stressed out. Accept it. And just like a kid looking up to the sky, watching the clouds float on by, same thing you're going to do. So, this whole process, just you spending time with yourself, will allow you to start living your life from here instead of here. Got it? Okay. So, I remember talking to a friend not too long ago. We don't talk often, we don't talk daily. Once in a while we talk and bam. Okay. So she flew down to meet with me and we had what I call a soul naked conversation. Soul naked where Our stories are not between us, it's out. And I'm asking you, just like you will talk to a good friend, is to enjoy the presence. You're accepting of your friend. You're allowing to show up what shows up without having a goal in mind. So that's what stillness is. I want you to start enjoying the relationship you have with yourself. There's no end game, like most meditations teach you to have. There's no results to happen. But as you're going to find out, the result thereafter shows up in your life. It's not because that's what you're aiming for. It's because it just shows up because you start dropping from your mind to your heart. Not that you don't need your mind, because you still need this and this together in alignment for you to start creating the kind of life that you think you only can imagine. So that in a nutshell is stillness. And I just close my eyes and I'll see what comes up, and I'll deal with that. Whether it's actually I kind of like, because I'll teach you this more of like, I want you to love the child that's trying to come out and scream and throw tantrums through your thoughts, to love them enough, because perfect love casts out fear and all of those thoughts, worries, judgments, resentments, restrictions. All those are based in fear. So the only way you can just let that out of your life so you can become the new you that you're becoming is to do it through love. Okay, let's cut out this we gotta follow this thing point by point. There is no point by point. You are bigger than this stillness. You are bigger than this practice. You are bigger than this experiment. Okay, so I don't want you to feel that at any point that you are doing it wrong, that maybe this is the right way to do it. Forget that. Throw that out the window. Okay, do what you do to reconnect with yourself in silence and in stillness. And for a lot of people, I'll give you another analogy. It's um, when you go to the beach, right? And by the way, it's a secluded private beach, not party beach. Or when you're up in the mountains, in the forest, everything just drops in, right? The stillness, the silence, and your thoughts just hyper release itself. But it's like thoughts that are actually good, like, oh man, I want more out of life. You know what? When I get back to the city, I'm going to quit my job because I know there's something in me calling me out. Do that. See, but since most of us are in the city and we don't practice knowing ourselves, being in stillness, being in silence, we go from one thing to the other to the next. And we're forgetting that this here, right here, this is the differential factor that will play in your life, where your income is concerned, relationship is concerned, your flow of life is concerned. And of course, I can tell you different stories of my friends and I, and people who've been doing this for years now. And I don't want that to be the reason why you're doing this. I want you just to connect with yourself and see what comes up, see what shows up for you. I always liken this. I liken stillness and coming back to yourself as, we all know the story of like a cocoon, right? The cocoon and a butterfly metamorphosis. See, most of us, okay, here's just it. We're all like caterpillars, right? And then we see this thing we got to enter, right? So here we are, caterpillar, and of course, we know the science. Caterpillar goes inside the cocoon, the nest cocoon, and it stays there because inside that time, that's where it starts developing the wings. That's where it starts developing the inner strength. Of course, the later stages will be the breaking out of the cocoon, but most of us are afraid to enter into that stillness, to that silence, to the stillness of the cocoon within ourselves. And I'm telling you, it's time not to run away. It's time to go back, take a long pause. 77 days, it could be 30 days for you. It could be 10 days for you. I don't care. All I want you to do, some of you are busy bumblebees like I used to be. Take 5 minutes. 5 minutes, just be with yourself. No device, no nothing. Just reconnect with yourself. Okay? Whatever thoughts come in, Just look at it like a child looking at the sky, looking at the clouds pass by, no judgment. And I want you to learn saying that's awesome. I want you to learn saying, man, that's exciting. That's wonderful. And I mean it into a way where, I applied for this platinum credit card to do with an airline. And so I passed everything, right? All the cool things. And finally, they called me up one day. They said, no, Mr. Ko, you were declined. See, but, and this is what I said. They told me, sorry, Mr. Ko, you were declined. And I said, wow, that's awesome. She says, like, I don't think you understand. Your application has been declined. I said, no, no, that's great. Thank you so much for telling me. Thank you. Bye. I'm thinking she's thinking like that's weird. What? Okay. And I'll tell you next time the reason why it was declined. That's kind of silly, but that's fine. See, that's the way you should be with the way your thoughts try. Oh, you're never gonna make it that big. Well, that's pretty cool. Agree with it, right? Not agree that it's true, but agree with it, because it's a little kid. When a kid comes to you and says, I can beat you up. A 3-year-old kid comes up to say, and I can beat you up, man. Humor him, right? Humor him. Yeah, sure. I'm sure you could beat me up. I mean, like, look at your muscles. It's huge, right? So that's the same way I kind of do with my thoughts. And you're gonna find out the more you do that, the more you kind of like humor the little kid that's trying to tell you can't do this, you can't do that. The more you're gonna see that it starts leaving your life, and the tensions in your shoulder, tensions in your mind, tensions from the way you relate with people, tensions in your relationship starts leaving. And I think my friends are already here, so I'll check back with you guys a little while, okay? So thank you so much for joining the Stillance. And I'm going to say it again. You are bigger than life. You are larger than life. That's why I believe in you.